Hola amigos, it's me Paul, and in today's video we're going to meet Gwen and Gary, who owned a farm in Canada. But something changed, and they decided the best thing to do was to move to Mexico. Here's their story.
We always looked forward to our spring and summers. We wouldn't get the spring rains that we used to get, and everything would be so dry after the cold winters, and then it would be flame on, and all of a sudden we would just have smoke-filled summers, and then evacuation notices, sucking smoke every day, and then summer would be over and winter would set back in. We went through this for probably 4 or 5 consecutive summers, and after that we thought, we got to make a change. There's more to life than what we were doing.
We wanted to have a more active lifestyle, being able to be out like all year round, not being so cooped up in the house.
My dad spent 30 years, the end of his life down the Baja, in a town called San Felipe. And I got to know Mexico quite a bit from helping him with his house and getting back and forth. And the end of his life, he couldn't drive anymore, so I would get him down and then I'd go back and get him home, and we just got to know the Mexico way of life, and we loved it. I originally Googled best climates in the world, and what came up was, I forget what number 1 was, but the number 2 was Vilcabamba, Ecuador. And at dinner one night, I go, Gwen, there's this town I found, it's called Vilcabamba. It's in Ecuador. Let's check it out. Let's move to Vilcabamba, Ecuador. And yeah, that didn't go over so well.
It's really beautiful. I'd love to visit there one day.
But then reality set in. We knew it was just too far, and then my sister had her heart set on Mexico, the Puerto Vallarta area. We started looking at Mexico, and I knew how hot it got, and I was trying to talk them into Lake Chapala. And 4,000 foot elevation, a little cooler in the summertime, but it was 2 against 1. I lost that vote, and we're at the beach. I was researching acreages and property, and then I would talk with my sister and we'd get her to do a little bit of scouting for us. And she found this chunk of property, and the first 2 words she texted me was, "It's amazing." And then we saw the views, the Sierra Madre Mountains, and how it was situated. For me, farming, and I know how the rains are here, there's a bit of criteria that I had to check off. One of them, really important, was flat land. We had to have a good water source because we get 8 months of dry. We're on a shallow well that's coming from the Sierra Madre Mountains. It's very consistent. Our water is better quality than we had in Canada. It's all ejido land. I hired a lawyer. She's been at this game a very long time. Our ejido land is through Valle de Banderas. She knows everybody there personally, went to school with a lot of them. We're small town Mexico. Every ejido in Mexico is different, and this one is very reputable. You can trust doing business with them. All our paperwork is completed, and now we feel confident in knowing we're secure with our ejido paperwork, and next year we'll continue on with building a smaller house. And our lawyer said everything looked really good as far as contracts and ejido being good quality ejido and stuff, but they had said that we would get electricity within 3 months, the seller agent, and which turned out, here it is 2 years later, still no electricity. But I factored that into the whole deal, and we're on solar. It's just Gwen and I, and we go back, so we don't need AC because we go back to Canada, so it was doable, and here we are. still doing it. The electricity, the poles are up, the lines are in. We're just waiting for CFE to do the final power on, so we're very close. If you're gonna get upset over stuff, then you're in the wrong country, because it's just whenever it happens, it is what it is. We come from a farming background, horticultural. I'm a machine operator, truck driver, entrepreneur, owned a gravel business, and pretty savvy when it comes to keeping things going, and it's not for everybody. You know, I buy a existing structure, existing home, or a gated community if you're, you know, feel if the safety's an issue, and just don't get in over your head. In Canada and the US, we fence to keep our animals in. Mexico, you fence to keep the animals out. There's street cows and horses, dogs, everything they just let go. And you gotta have everything fenced really good to keep the critters out. Otherwise, everything you plant will get mowed down or eaten. And security-wise, the first thing you should do if you buy land is to fence it and get your shade tree, figure out where your house is gonna go, and get trees planted quick. And that's what we concentrated on, was we started this little casita to figure out our building plan and start getting the trees planted.
Our first tree was a moringa tree, and went with the bananas, soursop.
Which is Spanish, they call them guanabana.
Guanabana, superfood, grapefruit, orange, lime,
cherry,
mangosteen,
mangosteen,
Santa Rosa plum,
avocado,
pomegranate.
We haven't been able to grow any vegetables yet because we're gonna do raised beds, raised garden beds, and we have to have the house location figured out exactly so that the raised garden beds can be just off the south side back door of the house, so that we can just step out back and enter our raised garden bed area. So that's all coming. And then we have to be here year round in order to manage it and just see that through. That'll be the last phase of our gardening project. Google Translate is my best friend I've ever got onto. It opened up the world to me. We plan on, when we're here full time, we plan on taking proper Spanish lessons, but we lose a lot of it when we go back home because we don't speak the language for 4, 5, 6 months. But when we're here full time, we're going to immerse ourselves in the language. But until then, it's Google Translate, and I highly recommend it.
And for me, I spend more time in Bucerius, and I find that there's so many Mexicans that speak really well English, so it's easier for me to spend my time in Bucerius.
The Golden Zone. We're 20 minutes from the beach and Gringo Land, I call it. But these little towns where we are, they're Mexican towns.
Yeah, they don't speak English.
No, they're full-blown Mexican. You know, it's.
But we've made friends.
I've got, yes, people that actually wave to me and scream out my name, and I laugh and I wave, and these are some of the best people in the world. My worker, Mario, didn't speak a lick of English when we first met a year ago now.
No, he
spoke a little bit.
He spoke pretty good English.
Well, no, not very good.
No?
Pablo speaks very good English. Yeah. Mario, Paquito, yes.
Paquito.
But it's, Mario and I are very much Google Translate for him to, he gets frustrated. He's learning more English than I am Spanish, and he thinks it's, yes. He calls me Dad. And a lot of times I'll say to him, that's good, you feel that I'm your dad, because when my son works for me, I don't pay him a penny. And then he says, oh no, you're not my dad, you're not my dad. We laugh. And I've had lower back surgeries, and I ain't a spring chicken anymore. And without Mario's help, I'd have a really tough time doing this on my own. He's helped me source a lot of things. A lot of times I went to buy 2 quarts of oil for our truck. They wanted 700 pesos. No, 1,100 pesos. And I knew that was too much, and I sent Mario there, and he got them for 680, 700 pesos. So there's definitely gringo pricing, and it's just, yeah, buyer beware. I built a couple of RV sites that we will probably rent out and use for family and friends, because everybody owns an RV in Canada. And I'm pretty sure it'll be easier for me to put somebody in one of our RV sites that's like-minded, would stay here year-round, or that's into doing this, and we can come and go. Our farm in Fort St. John in Canada, we could never really do stuff together because the farm, we were handcuffed to the property between the animals and the farming, and we don't want it to be like that here. We want to be able to just leave together and know that the property's going to be looked after. And that was the idea of the RV sites, to try to find like-minded people, to have a presence on the property year-round.
But when you wake up in the morning and the sun's rising, and over, you look out and see the mountains, and what's that feeling like? And you hear the birds and
it's
cool
great.
air.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, we love it.
The mornings are nice. We love the mornings.
Yes. And we've sleep with our doors wide open, but then we have these 2 dogs here, but we feel very safe, and we're limited on electricity. It's not like we can close all the doors and run AC all night when it's hot. Dexter.
No, I don't think we mentioned this, but the first 4 months that we lived here, we were on our neighbor's property under the mango trees.
In this trailer?
In this trailer. We were on that property under the mango trees there. Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah, it was, we were really camping. Generator running, no solar, in the kikio grass. It's a native grass that they have here that's all rhizomes. It's like vines, it wraps around your ankles. Burrs, prickle kind of stuff. Yeah, it was the start.
You were there just because this needed to be built first.
Yeah, there was nothing. Yeah. We came at the end of the rainy season, and there was 4 feet.
We needed shade for
prickles.
This trailer, so we were over there under the mango trees.
Yeah.
That's a good way to get to know your land, huh?
Yeah, I started off, with heavy machinery, getting it flat and all the weeds knocked down, and it's been a lot of work.
For sure.
Yes. But we're seeing the light of day now, and just keep at it, and it's all good. We've only been here a year, we've already had half a dozen visitors.
So everybody wants to go to Mexico, so it's nice. We'll have more friends and company here.
We have a friend down the road that built a little cabin, and he has a time limit, 2 weeks maximum, because he can't get rid of them. He ends up by having to say, hey, listen, it's time to go.
My family's welcome to stay as long as they want.
Yes, but these are...
We always have a spot out there for them when they're ready.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, we've bought enough property that if our kids are really good family friends, they could bang up something, or if all hell breaks loose with the world affairs, there's room for you here.
Big thanks to Gwen and Gary for sharing their story. Gary also gave me a tour of their property, so I'll be sharing that video next. If you're interested in the trailer hookups that they have on their property, they're actually available for rent. You'll find an email in the description below where you can contact Gary and Gwen directly. And if you've made the move to Mexico and you would like to share your story, I'd love to hear from you. Send me an email, info@movingtomexi.co. Thank you for watching today's video. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. De mi familia a la tuya, Dios te bendiga.